What's going on? What's going on? Opening the flat is back, man. Commanders. Man, we got a lot of things going on with the Commanders. Record 1-1. They beat up on the Giants. Not necessarily beat them up, but they won against the Giants. And they came back and played Green Bay. And it was a up and down experience with Green Bay. I just watched the game over again. Man, the game was actually a little closer than what played out. And I guess watching the replay actually proved to me that the Commanders had something to prove, um, and they did pretty good compared to what I actually when I watched it live. I like some of the things they did on defense. They actually struggled on offense quite a bit. But I'm not surprised about it because Green Bay had a good pass rush. Green Bay had Michael Parsons. Green Bay had Gary. Green Bay had some inside pass rush that they played. And I thought they did pretty good against it. I thought that, you know, Green Bay ran a lot of zone on the back end, expecting their pass rush to get home. And in which they did. They got home. They got the pass rush on JD. They ran zone on the back end. They made a lot of plays, and I wasn't surprised by. I was surprised by how ineffective we were, as far as moving the ball, running the ball. I don't think we were effective at all as trying to push the ball down the field. Um, so we got a lot of things to work on. A lot of things the Commanders need to work on. It was released today that JD5 is out for the game against the Raiders. And actually, that concerns me as well because we need him if we want to make a strong push for the playoffs. We need JD5. We need him alive. We need him to make the throws. We need him to get the first down. When we go for it on fourth down, we need him to be that person to make the play to take us to the next limit. And for him to miss games, I don't like that. We got to do a better job of protecting him. If it comes down from the O line, if it comes down from calling plays, if it comes down to the defense making stops on third down, we have to protect him and do what we need to do. But watching that Green Bay game again, it wasn't as bad as watching it live. It took me a couple of days to relook at it. Actually, it took me 7 days to relook at it because I was so pissed about it. And then I'm sitting here and I'm listening to people on the radio stations. I'm listening to people give their opinion. And I'm like, what are these guys talking about? Did they watch the game? Did they see some of the plays what was going on? Did they see some of the plays on offense where, JD could have got rid of the ball, but he held on to it for a little while longer? Did they see the plays to where, the offensive line struggled and Parsons and Gary and some of the other guys in the middle made plays? Did they watch that? Did they see that our defense held Green Bay to where the score was 17-10 going into the fourth quarter? They did. They played pretty good. Actually, they played really good to the point that I still thought that we had a chance to win it when they actually played a bad game in the long haul. I mean, but what describes a bad game? What describes to say they played bad? They got a few plays in the first half in that first drive, second drive, but besides that, what did Green Bay actually really do to say that you know they were going to lose? It may look like Green Bay dominated the game, but the score says something different. But that was the same way with us against the Giants. we actually was winning the game on the field, but the score said something different. But the Giants actually, finally gave up and caved in and said, you know what, we can't beat these guys. Let's go ahead and let them have it. And, for the score to be 27-18, we were still in it. A few plays here and there, a few drops here and there, and we were back in. A few missed field goals, we were back in it for a scoring drive. And that's when I think my team actually struggled. So I'm not too worried about our team overall. I'm not too worried about our offense. I'm not too worried about our defense. We have to get JD5 healthy. That's the biggest thing. But our defense is still playing well. Our offense is playing well. We got to get our running backs more involved in the game. We're going down to Bill. We got Nichols. We got Rodriguez. We got them boys. We got to get them boys ready. We can't play around. We got to get them boys ready. They got to be ready to carry the ball 20 times, 25 times. Got to be ready to catch out the backfield. Our O-line got to be ready to pass protect. They got to be ready to, get down and dirty. I see they made a change at guard. They go ahead and put Wiley in for Allen Grady. We've been catching a lot of heat on JD, right? We got to do well, man. We got to keep that boy healthy. It's a long season. We got to make the right calls. Our offense got to make the right calls. Our offensive coordinator got to make the right calls to keep JD5 healthy. And JD5 got to keep himself healthy. He got to be able to hit, them spots, them hot spots or them spots when he's supposed to. I know Green Bay ran zone. They decided to sit on the routes and do those things to cut some of those easy throws out, but we got to do what we need to do to ensure that the JD5 is healthy. I don't necessarily agree with him running the ball constantly, but he run the ball to get the first down to keep the drive alive. I like that. But when he take a hit and he don't see it coming, I don't like that. I don't like that, JD5. You got to get your head around. You got to see what's going on in front of you. You got to get rid of that ball. Or if you get out there, them boys out there in the secondary, they hit, you got to lay down. Slide it out. So we got a lot to learn. It wasn't necessarily all Green Bay. It's some of us too. And we got a lot to learn. And I expect of us to learn a lot. I expect for us to do well. I expect for Bill, Nichols, Rodriguez to step up and play. I don't want to see no half-ass bullshit, man. If you guys want to be in the league, if you guys want to play, you got to play. You got to bring it every week. You got to catch out the backfield. You got to pick up pass protection. You got to chip on a defensive end. Don't just think you're going to run the ball and then that's it. It's more to playing. It's more to being a running back than just running the ball. You got to show us that you willing to lay it down on the line every week to protect JD. He our franchise player. And you got to do what you got to do. And that's one of the big things about, playing in the NFL, who lasts and who don't last, because guys got to make moves to help the next man up, to help the next person. So we got to do better. Our defense played well because, like I said before, the score was 17-10 at the beginning of the fourth quarter playing Green Bay. Our defense, they let a few routes get behind them in the first half. They let them score 7 points, 14 points. But they held their own to allow the Commanders to be still in the game. 17-10 start a full quarter. You in the game, right? You got to play better offense, better defense, and then to ensure that, things will work out. I love our team the way we're set up. I love our team the way our defense plays and the way our offense plays. But our defense in particular, because we got Lattimore, we got Amos. They locking up, man. Sam Steele, they locking up, man. They saying, hey, I can play this dude man to man, no help. You might have some help on the top end, but hey, I'm locking them up man to man. Now, Green Bay ran a lot of man beaters against us. They ran a lot of quick passes to where, out of position. I'm not a defensive coordinator. I probably would have liked to, when we got guys running in motion, if we could switch and you pick up this guy, that guy. I seen some plays to where I was like, hey, if they'd have switched on this, if they'd have called it out, switch, hey, then we could have stopped a lot of little short underneath passes. But hey, the defense called defense. That's why he's a defensive coordinator. He know way more than I do. But we gotta get better at that. But our overall defense played well. Our run defense played lights out. They stopped Jacobs. Our pass defense gave up some throws here and there where they found us wide open down the seam with a tight end. He took advantage of us. He got it with us. He honestly raped us, to be honest. So I was a little disappointed, and I thought we could have played that a whole lot better. But everybody is not. But what we got to send back to understand when we talk about our team, everybody is not Green Bay. Everybody is not going to have a pass rush with Michael Parsons and Gary and the rest of the Green Bay defense. We're not going to play that 16 weeks, 17 weeks. Everybody can't get that pressure. So I'm not even worried about that. And then when it comes to December and January, when we got JD5, say if we make the playoffs, Green Bay might not even be Green Bay from week 2. So I'm not even worried about that. We just need to stay healthy, play the guys that we need to play, and we'll be all right. No worries or no we send back, we worried about O-line and what's going on with Wiley, what's going on with Connolly, what's going on this person, that person. I don't even care about that. I think our rookie Connolly is playing his heart out. He's making plays. He playing up against the Giants D-line. He played up against Green Bay and their D-line. He gonna face, the Raiders and Max Crosby, and he gonna be all right. Let the boy do his thing. He gonna do all right. I don't like all that. Hey, we gonna shuffle this person, shuffle that person, because when you start shuffling the O-line around, you start messing up chemistry. Start messing up. Let them boys play it out. Let them boys learn. Okay, we made the substitution for Wiley and for Allen Grady. Let's ride with that. Let's ride the rest of the season with that. Conley gonna have his ups and downs. Coleman, Wiley, Tunsil, they gonna have their ups and downs. Let them boys ride it out. Let them boys play, get a good cohesive offensive line going. Let JD5 feel comfortable and make the throws that he needs to throw. But we need to be secure and understand that, these guys going to be all right. Let them boys do what they need to do. The Raiders come to town, they facing a backup quarterback, Marcus Mariota. They feel as though they playing with a lot of confidence. They get 1-1. They feel as though they come to town, they could beat us. We ain't got shit going on. We don't got nothing to say we're going to beat them, or it's going to be, we're going to prove we're going to beat them. We got to show that on the field. We got to play stifling defense against the run, against the pass. We got to come out on offense, make the throws, run the ball. We got to dominate. We got to show them that they came to DC to get their ass beat. And that's what's going on week in and week out. We can't have a team coming here with confidence. We got to, grab them by the throat and put a stranglehold on them. And that's where it comes down to for us, a lot of these teams. We got to beat these boys. We got to beat the Raiders and say, hey, we playing for something different than playing for a playoff spot or playing, week to week. We play Atlanta next. We gotta show them, hey, let's put a chokehold on these motherfuckers, and you made a trip for nothing. But it starts right now on the O line, the D line, and just straight dominating. It starts now by the fan base coming in there to FedEx Field, not FedEx, but Northwest Stadium, and say, hey, we hype. We're gonna dominate. We're gonna have a loud crowd, and our D line, our O line, we're gonna dominate from this point on. You know. So it starts from us. It starts from the fan base. It starts from the players on the field, from getting after them. So I have a lot of confidence in the Commanders. I have a lot of confidence in some of the things that they're doing. Even with JD5 going out, I have a lot of confidence in Mariota and knowing that he could do what he needs to do to make the throws or make the runs that he needs to do. I'm not too worried about our defense. Our defense playing well. Avoid some of the injuries that's been going on. Avoid some of the negative plays that we had. Don't forget that Green Bay is supposed to be a Super Bowl team. We played them well at their home field on a short week. We might play them again if we make the playoffs in January. That might not be the same Green Bay team. So I'm not worried about that. Teams that start off hot in the beginning don't necessarily may be that hot and come into December, January. Understand that too. Because a lot of players, they start off hot, they doing this, doing that. And they get into, after Thanksgiving, and it's like, fuck them. They're not as good as they were. Like I always say, before the season don't start to Thanksgiving, if you can hang around 500 somewhat, and then you can turn the juice up for Thanksgiving in December, you're in good shape. You can run the table. So I like where the Commanders stand right now. I like how they play. They come out, they got the Raiders, but they got to play the Raiders and get up after them. Geno, shut the run game down and do what they need to do. I like that. We finally got the Commander Stadium pass with a vote from DC Council, 11-2. I don't even understand why they had the 2 negatives. I don't even understand why they even put that out there, right? That was huge. I remember as a little kid watching the Redskins at RFK. Just watching them on TV was just like beyond my mind. They were winning, they were successful, and they dominated. I'm born and raised in DC, right? I enjoy driving past the stadium on 295 and looking over, be like, wow, the Redskins play right there. So it's just, I don't know if everyone really understand what that means. They see the stadium loud, to hear it, to feel it, to get the goosebumps going up your arm, to say, this my team, they playing right there. What it means to DC as a whole, what it means to the people in the streets when they win and when they are winning. To say, you know what, no matter what I'm going through in life, Commanders winning, they give me hope. That's big, man. That was big to bring them back to DC, the heart and soul, because it means so much to the communities. It means so much to the motherfuckers in the hood. It means so much to, to having hope. Because that's what we need right now. A lot of people in this world, they don't really have a lot of hope. They don't really have, and especially in the United States. And some of these other places around the world, but I'm talking about the United States, they don't really have a lot of hope that things going to get better. And to bring them back to the city, you giving this area a lot of hope that things going to change and things is going to, that we're here and we're going to do better. That's what bringing the Commanders back to DC mean to people that, that still cherish the momentum? People who were alive back then and know what it means to win, know what it means to the crowd to take over the field. I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch. We used to get penalties because the crowd was so loud. The referees had to stop the game and used to ask Joe Gibbs to tell your crowd to settle down. Tell Joe Gibbs to try to tell the crowd to shut up, but we used to turn it up. That's what it meant. So it's beyond just a football game. It's beyond just uh be coming out here and we're gonna play a game. It meant everything to people who were poor, who people who struggle every day, who people who are police officers or firefighters or nurses or doctors or teachers or sanitary workers or anybody else is like, damn, I had a hard week. But I come here, to watch the Commanders win the game. It gives them hope that I feel good about the city. I feel good about everything else that's going on. And that's what the Commander Stadium in DC means to all of us. It gives us that hope that things will get better in our lives. It push forward in our lives. I'm not quite sure if everyone really understand, when I talk and when I say that, but that's what it really means to have a stadium in DC. Damn, I remember as a kid, everybody would be in the house. Nobody on the block. Nobody hanging out. Everybody in the house watching the Redskins play at RK Stadium. You like, damn, where everybody at? I'm a little kid. I'm like, where everybody at? Nobody outside. Everybody in the house watching the game. That's what it meant. It was that important to this community. So I'm so glad that it came back. I'm so glad that we could try to get that back. Commanders got a tough road ahead. Raiders, Atlanta, and I believe they play the San Diego after that. They got buckled up. This is a long season. A lot of things can happen. Stay healthy. Keep JD5 alive. Sorry, Eckler. Sorry, Wise. Glad it happened at the beginning of the year instead of November, December. We gotta do what we gotta do to make that push, man. Like, subscribe. Hey, I'm gonna be back at it every week for more podcasts, man. It's a long season, y'all. Don't get too up, don't get too down. Continue to do what you gotta do each and every week. All right? Definitely continue what you gotta do. A long road ahead. So we could play better and make the playoffs. All right? So I'm gonna sign out.